Shannon, is KG right?
KD sound like a fool. And think about what he just said, Skip. He said the C's didn't fear LeBron because we didn't feel he could beat our five. He's talking about 3 first-ballot Hall of Famers: Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. Rondo is a fringe. We will remain to be seen. And they're talking about beating a 24, 25-year-old LeBron James. Now, that was, Skip, think about this. It was KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Kendrick Perkins, Tony Allen, and Rasheed Wallace came off the bench, going against LeBron James, Mo Williams, Antoine Jameson, Tony Parker, 37-year-old Shaq, and Anderson Varejao. So, KG, since you want to take it this, you got so much to say right now. I just want to know one thing. Did Kobe and Shaq break your ass? What about Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Ginobili? Because you remember for 12 years he was in the Western Conference. Kevin Garnett got out of the first round, Jenny, one time as the #1 seed in 2004. He was the MVP. He got bounced by Shaq and Kobe. So in other words, Tim Duncan broke his ass because they didn't fear Kevin Garnett. Skip, Kevin Garnett was one of the first guys that had a no-trade clause. So in order for him to get from Minnesota to Boston, what did he have to do? He talked about wanting to win a championship. He had to go link up. Now, Kevin Garnett came out in 1995. Now, maybe I missed it, but I could have swore he came out of Farragut Academy and went to Minnesota.
Yes.
But how did he win a championship for Boston if they didn't draft him? He links up, Skip. Do you realize before the Miami Heat Big Three, there was one in Boston? That's what they called Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, the Big Three. So what Bron did said, hold on. It's basically three against one. Well, let me go get me 2 others. D-Wade, what you think, bro? CB, what you think? Okay, let's do it. Kevin Durant was talking that ish. You remember Game 5 when they beat him in Miami, Skip? Kevin Garnett had a lot to say. And then LeBron, on his watch, those 5 he was talking about when he got 45, 15, and 5. Shut it down. So he broke it up. So LeBron James broke up the Celtics Big Three. But they said, let's run it back. But we're going to run it back in Brooklyn. So Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, joins Joe Johnson. LeBron broke that up in Brooklyn. Sent him back to Minnesota, where he was somewhat of a player consultant. And he want to talk now. Skip, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen so many players that have so much negativity to say about LeBron. That man minding his own business.
Wonder why that is.
Because you hate greatness, but even as great as Michael was, and they froze him out, Skip, you remember they froze him out in the All-Star game, and he never forgot it, especially Isaiah. He never forgot it. Skip, Larry Bird didn't say we broke Mike. Those guys didn't talk about that. You didn't break.
That's exactly right. Keep talking.
But hold on, Skip. Because they realize it's Mike against 3. It's Mike against 4. But when Mike got Scotty and he got more players to help him, now Michael going through that kicking butt. Kevin Garnett doing all this talking. I just want to know why you never got out of the first round, with the exception of one time. If it was that easy, KG, it was taking you going to join. So he ran out of the way. Skip. At least LeBron stayed in the same conference. This joker went all the way cross country. I can't deal with Shaq and Kobe. Well, they broke because Shaq left after the 2004 season. I mean, I can't deal with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan broke it because him and Tim Duncan played the same position, and Tim Duncan gave it to him. And he want to talk now. He got a lot to talk about after LeBron made him get up out of Dodge, made him leave Boston, made him leave Brooklyn. Bron was the beast of the East. You had a great run, KG, but it's over, bro. Let it go. You never was, you never were, never will be thought of as LeBron. Let it go, bro. You won your series. You got your ring. Let it go. That's not the fight you want to fight. Live to see another day, bro.
My turn. Could you please ask the question again? You have it?
Shannon.
Yes,
well, not Shannon.
Thank you. I'm Skip.
I already heard from him. I'm still taking in everything you just said. Skip, it's KG right here.
KG is dead solid right about what he said, because in the conference semis in 2010, LeBron's last go-round in the first stop at Cleveland, they made LeBron quit.
Stop it, Skip.
They broke LeBron psychologically, mentally, physically, every way you could break him. And by the way, in Game 3 of that series, which was the first game at Boston Garden, the visiting Cleveland Cavaliers won by 29. I believe that was LeBron's greatest game. You can make a case that the next year in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, when he was with the Heat, obviously you could make a case for that one. Or it'd be two more years after that.
Yeah, right? It was 2 years.
2 years after that. But in this case, LeBron was a tour de force at Boston on a Friday night. I was just in awe of him. And by the way, he made 8 of 9 free throws that night. So he was a plus 30 in that game. And yet here we went again. Here again was LeBron's team up 2-1. And we had seen that happen against Orlando the year before, and they fell apart. And we were about to see it happen in his first go-around with the Miami Heat against Dallas in the NBA Finals, up 2-1 at Dallas, and no, fell apart. So in this one, he fell apart so badly that, look at Game 4. They lost by 10. He had 7 turnovers and went 0 for 5 from 3. Then Game 5, they lost by 32, and LeBron went 3 of 14 from the floor. And then Game 6 back at Boston, they lost by 9. LeBron had 9 turnovers in that game.
How many points? Didn't he have like a triple-double? He had 27, 19, and 12. Wouldn't he have something
10,
like that?
10.
Oh, my bad, Jenny, but they broke him. 27, 19, and 10, but they broke him.
9 turnovers, and they lost by 9. And Dan Gilbert soon after told the Associated Press, and I quote, he quit. This is about LeBron. He quit. Yeah. Not just in Game 5, but in 2, 4, and 6. Watch the tape, said Dan Gilbert, who concluded, the Boston series was unlike anything in the history of sports for a superstar, period, end quote.
But it's baffling to me. You quit on me, but you know what? I get on my private jet, and I go meet you at a private area, and I want you to come back. But you quit on me.
Well, why did LeBron agree to go back? That's the better question.
LeBron went back because LeBron says, you know what, I have unfinished business. Because remember, Skip, when they tried to give him the trophy, he took the trophy from Dan Gilbert. It is not about you. Yeah. We won this. Now, you talk about winning in spite of, that's winning in spite of.
So this conference semifinal was such a debacle of a disaster for LeBron James that his camp then put out the reports. They gave out the information to several reporters who said that LeBron had to be sedated before games 4, 5, and 6 against those Celtics because of a locker room issue that he was trying to cope with. And that's the biggest bunch of baloney I've ever heard. Sedated before those games. I don't want you. That's the all-time excuse I've ever heard.
So let me ask you.
History of excuses.
Okay, Skip. So why? Okay, now it's a fair fight. It's your big three against my big three. Why is and we bust your head? And then remember, has Kevin Garnett talked to Ray Allen? Because remember when Ray Allen went and joined, said, I don't want to be on you the losing side. Y'all never gonna beat him again. I don't want to be a part of y'all losers. I'm going to join him in Miami. And what about Kevin Garnett? Has he talked? Remember they had this reunion and he and Rondo? I'm still surprised that Rondo wants to play with LeBron. He hated LeBron so much that he couldn't wait to join him, Jenny. And Kevin Garnett got so much to say, Skip, he skipped out of the Western Conference.
Okay. So now we go 2 years down the road to Boston Celtics versus LeBron and the Heat.
Yeah!
In the conference finals.
Hey, what happened?
And LeBron and company are down 3-2. And on a Friday night, they went to Boston.
Yeah!
And LeBron played what a lot of people think was his greatest game ever. What was it, 45, 15, and 5. It was great. And they won. And they won by 19.
But we need context, Jenny.
Yeah.
Because we need context about Kevin Garnett running his mouth.
Wait, I'm not finished
Okay,
yet.
my bad.
Remember, Kevin dropped in the little agenda issue. He said the NBA had an agenda in that series. So what happened in Game 7 back in Miami? It ended up being a pretty close game because it was a 3-point game. And I'm trying to read between the lines of NBA's agenda.
Yeah.
Boston shot no free throws in the fourth quarter of that game. Miami shot 6 and made 5, and it was a 3-point game. So maybe that's what he's saying is the NBA's agenda. I don't know.
Maybe KG would have a point if they shot 16 and they shot none. But 6 now, he make it seem like that's the greatest disparity that we've ever seen in the
I don't
conference
even know
finals.
if that's what he's referring to. I'm just trying to look for something.
There ain't nothing there. He called it. What he thought he was going to run his mouth, because he ran his mouth after they won Game 5 in Miami. And he was talking that talk. But you remember, they showed it. LeBron had his hands on his knees, and his eyes was bouncing side to side.
Look, I will say this. I believe that Kevin Garnett right now is feeling himself. He is full of himself because he's the star of a movie with Adam Sandler called Uncut Gem. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I have seen it, and Kevin Garnett is great in it, playing Kevin Garnett. He is literally playing Kevin Garnett for real.
Right.
Okay.
And he's very good. Adam's very good. I didn't love the movie, but that's a whole nother issue. But they were sensational, and it is getting big Oscar buzz.
Okay.
So I believe Kevin is feeling himself because they just might win the whole thing. They might win the Oscar.
Okay, but what they got to do on the court? No, I'm
He's
just
feeling good the last couple. That makes sense.
You can feel, Jenny, I can feel good about me without trying to crap on somebody else. But see, that's the thing. Sometimes we have to think, I got to make you feel small so I can seem larger than life. KG, what you accomplished in the NBA is great. Nobody's trying to diminish that. But when you forget how you couldn't get out of the first round. You couldn't get through Shaq and Kobe. You couldn't get through Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony.
Okay.
Why? Because it was you against those.
Okay, but is he right that we broke LeBron in that conference semifinal?
Skip, no. What he's trying to skip. LeBron left Cleveland because he couldn't get anybody to come to Cleveland. Hell, LBJ don't want to be in Cleveland. That should tell you superstars not going to no Cleveland. Not by choice. Come on, Skip. KG, you better than this. You had your chance to shut him down in Game 6. And LeBron played in Game 7. We glossed over Game 7. Also, the Detroit game, Skip, where he scored, I think, 27 straight, 25 with 27, and he had 48. The last 25 against Detroit. You remember that? When he dropped that 48 on them and broke that up. He broke that up.
All I know is when Dan Gilbert said the Boston series was unlike anything we've seen in the history of sports for a superstar, well, he hadn't seen what was about to happen 2 years later against the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals when exactly that same thing happened again.
People say things out of emotion. When you lose, when emotion is high, logic is low. Dan Gilbert, talk about unlike he'd ever seen. He had just bought the team a couple of years ago. Hell, he don't know anything about no basketball, the ins and outs. The man, he broke the guy. A guy had 27, 19, and 10, and they broke him. He probably averaged 30 for the series, but they broke him. Yeah, you had the better team, KG.
In those last 3 games, LeBron James was 18 of 53 from the floor. That's 34%. He was 2 of 13 from 3, and he had 19 turnovers in 3 games.
Skip.
Broke him.
Skip, he had a bad game. So let me ask you a question. So I guess I'm glad you said that, because the bad boy Pistons broke Mike. They broke him. They broke him. I don't want to hear nothing about came out no Jordan rules. I don't want to hear nothing about no book. They broke him. They broke him.
He went 6-0.
No.
6-0 with 6 MVP.
No. Hold on. Wait a minute, Skip. The big 3 Celtics, they broke him.
Did you ever hear one Piston say we broke him?
Yes. Dennis Rodman said all the time.
Sam Smith wrote a whole book about the Jordan rules. They had to have a set of rules just for Michael Jordan to get by him, to survive him, because they barely survived.
And how they get past him? By breaking him. He said, I got to get stronger. But by me getting stronger, I got to hope the Pistons get older. And they start breaking the pieces. They got rid of Rick Mahorn. You remember Skip Bayless?
I don't remember Michael having 19 turnovers in the last 3 games.
Because he wasn't handling the ball. Scottie Pippen was. He was never. Come on, Skip. No, you better tell. Like KG forgot. See, KG must have forgot. I'm old enough to remember when he was in the Western Conference and he could do nothing every year. But one and done. I thought he was an NCAA freshman. One and done, Jenny, because that's what he was.
Shannon,
one and done.
You can't kill the messenger.
Skip.
That's what you're trying to do.
Skip, it's easy to say the man lost or we broke him. So when Tom Brady loses, the team broke him. Is that what you're saying?
That's what he's saying, and there's a lot of proof here.
Just because you say that don't make it the truth.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.